Hello friends, I'm going to make a wooden bed, measuring 1 meter, 40 by 2 meters. Here's the project I made in the program. It will be made from boards measuring 20 by 180 and beams measuring 50 by 50. The materials have been purchased, so I can start making the bed. I'm selecting the straightest beams to make the bed frame. The beams I have are 50 by 50. Finding a straight beam at the store is quite a challenge. You have to go through a lot to find a good beam. I'm trimming and cutting the beam. I'm assembling the frame. I pre-drilled the beam with a 2.5 millimeter drill bit. I apply PVA, hook, D3 glue, and fasten it with yellow galvanized screws, 100 millimeters long. The frame made from the beams is assembled. Now I'll check the diagonals. Here I have 246.5 and here 245. That's a difference of 15 millimeters. Now I need to somehow even it out. Most likely we'll fix this corner and tap here with a hammer. In theory, that should straighten everything out. I've straightened the diagonals of the frame. The hammer idea didn't work, so I just set the frame on its edge and, with a gentle movement to one side, aligned the diagonals. The dimensions of my frame are 141 centimeters by 201. I added a 1 centimeter allowance on each side to make it easy to lay the mattress. I screwed a board in the middle to prevent the frame from shifting. In the future, this same board will serve as a slat. Now I'm starting to make the legs. The leg design will be as follows: 3 bars, each 25 centimeters long, and 1 bar 30 centimeters long. Now I'll join all of this together using screws and glue. I mark out where the screws will go and pre-drill the holes. This makes it easier to screw them in and prevents the wood from splitting. I apply the glue and screw in the screws. It's better to screw in the screws from the inside of the leg. That is, from the side of the long bar, so they won't be visible. I decided to slightly change the design of the inner support and make just one, instead of 2. I'll just make it a bit more massive. The legs are ready, and all that's left is to attach them to the frame. First, I check how the legs fit to the frame. As you can see, there's a small problem with the central leg. It needs to be adjusted. The central support simply wouldn't go into the slot of the leg. I attach the legs using screws and glue. Additionally, I reinforced the central beam using metal brackets. I proceed to make the sideboards. For this, I use a board measuring 180 Bodo by 20 millimeters. I trim the boards and also attach these small bars so that I can install the sideboard without any assistance. I will attach the sideboards from the inside. For this, I drill holes for the screws. I will use regular black screws, 76 millimeters long. This is done so that the fasteners for this sideboard are not visible from the outside. I measure the short sideboard on site. This way it will be possible to join it almost perfectly. And I connect the sideboards to each other using yellow galvanized screws. The bed frame is ready. Now I will start making the headboard. I will make the headboard from boards which I will glue together. To glue the boards together, I make homemade clamps from 20 by 40 millimeter slats. On one side, I attach a support block. Next, I lay out the boards. Mark where the joints are, and at those spots I apply tape. The tape is needed so that the boards don't stick to the slat. I lay the board down again, and on the other side also secure a support block for the wedge. I carefully apply the glue and I clamp the boards together using wedges. Now all that's left is to put some weight on the boards and leave this panel for about a day. While the boards for the headboard are gluing, I'll be installing the slats. I'll be making them from 100 by 20 millimeter boards. The slats are 1 meter 40 centimeters long. I bought boards that are 2 meters long, so they need to be cut to length and trimmed. The quality of the boards is so-so. So I need to sort through the boards and cut off the worsty parts. Using a sander, I remove burrs from the ends so that the mattress won't get damaged in the future. I'm marking out the spots for the slats. The distance between the slats will be 58 millimeters. I'm fastening up either the slats with screws and glue. I'm leaving a small gap from the edge, about 5 millimeters. The next day, you can check how the panel has glued together. Because the board was uneven, it wasn't possible to glue the panel perfectly. I take a sander and go over it, removing the remaining glue and leveling it out a bit. The sander is weak, so I couldn't get it perfectly even. In this case, I recommend buying a ready-made glued panel instead. I secure the stops that will be used to attach the headboard to the bed. This board is 100 by 20. The fasteners will be in 3 places at the edges and in the center. I install the headboard. It will be attached to the bed frame with glue and screws. I have secured the headboard. Initially, I also planned to attach it here to the leg using a spacer like this. But as you can see, there is a very large gap here because the boards are of different thicknesses, even though I bought them all the same. Plus, this board is also a bit warped. So I decided to abandon this idea. And I'll cut this board here, like this, and it will just be attached to this side rail. It holds quite well. I think this attachment will be enough. The bed is ready. All that's left is to paint it, but before painting, I'll go over and round off these sharp corners. Here, I did this on the headboard. It looks pretty good and feels nice to the touch. I'll be doing this with a tool, like this renovator. Of course, it's better to use a sander for this, but I don't have one yet. I also decided to putty the screws on the slats, so the surface under the mattress would be perfectly smooth. I'm preparing the bed for painting. I go over it with a broom to remove the dust. I lay down a plastic sheet under the bed so I don't get the floor dirty. I'll be painting the bed with this decorative acrylic based wood E finish. I didn't really like this product. It doesn't absorb well into the wood, dries quickly, and as a result, leaves streaks. The product itself is jelly-like and doesn't go onto the brush well. I've painted the bed. I applied one coat in the color oak. And that's all for now, friends. Thank you all for watching. See you in the next videos.